It's Jay. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
All right. All right. So this is the first class for the first module. I am starting from the very beginning. So those of you who already know a little bit of Mvskoke, it's just a refresher for you. So let me go ahead and get started here. So the basic introduction is Jay. Hello. I've seen also the second one with the R, and then the third one with the N. Personally, I don't think that there's a problem with any of the spelling, as long as we're interacting, as long as we're connecting, I don't have a problem. But I've heard that the very first one right here is a lot of people's that's the preferred way. Like I said, I don't have a problem with it. You know, some people have learned from their family members down the line, and I'm not going to tell any elders or anybody that they're wrong, or that I think that, you know, this is the wrong way. So, you know, as long as we are interacting and we can tell what each other's saying, I mean, everything is good for me. All right, Desiray Emerton. My name is Desiray. More Adeidos. I don't know how to say more in Mvskoke, so I'll just put more Adeidos. And Okmongi Legaidos. I live here in Okmongi. I'm not sure if this is new for anybody. The word orders here, as you can see, you put your name first and then our word order in Mvskoke is different from English. So you're just going to have to learn to switch your mind and switch your thinking to Mvskoke, and that's what I'm here to try to teach you, some ways that I've had to learn. A little bit about myself is I was born in Oklahoma City. I was raised in Oklahoma City. Let's see, around 21, 22, I joined the military, so I'm a military veteran. Yes, go ahead.
No, I don't want to tell any of my ducks.
Okay. So
right.
I've been around the world.
I don't. I'm busy.
So I've been in the Air Force. I was in the Air Force for 13 years. I was 10 years active. I told the military my family needed me more than the military. About that time, I had my third child. So anybody who has childcare knows that somebody else is raising your kids. So I stepped out and I became a civilian. My husband still remained in the Air Force, and he retired about 22 years. I had come back in the military for 3 years, and they're like, well, and this is when the war started. So they're like, we got so many people coming in the military, you know, you don't have to stay. So they let me go. And we were all happy. Let's see, in 2020, around 2020, I moved back to Oklahoma to learn our language. I knew a little bit. I didn't grow up around the language so much. So like some of you don't hear it. You don't understand the tones and the sounds and just the little things that make a language and alive. You don't understand. A lot of the times in probably Christmas and Thanksgiving, I would hear a couple of aunts speaking the language, and nothing was really explained to us, and nothing was really taught. So we would hear every now and then some of the language. If you've ever heard some of the gospel singing and some of the church hymns, and if you just sit there and listen to some of these first speakers, you realize how beautiful our language is and how energetic and impactful our language is. I've taken language, like I said, I've known a little bit of our language. I'm not very much. I did go to College of Mvskoke Nation. I got my language certification there. I also learned from a lot of other places, another college, the Mvskoke language. I am still learning, so be kind. I'm trying to help you learn the way I learned. Like I said, I didn't grow up around it, so we've got a little bit of I would say training wheels. We need training wheels to catch up with some of the other speakers and learners who know these sounds and who understand the rhythm of the language. It's so funny, and I don't know if you guys have been to Mvhayv Barnett's class, but she gets to show you the rhythm and the flow of the language, and just pauses and just the way she pronounces some of these things, it changes the meaning. You draw out some of these words and it changes the feeling and the tones, so these are some of the things that we're going to try to learn, and I'm going to try to convey to you. Like I said, those of us who need the training wheels, I'm trying to reach you, because I also need training wheels, and until we get to that point where we can take them off, we're still going forward. It's going to be maybe a little bit at a time, but as long as you're going forward, that's all I ask. I also would like participation and interaction. I think our Mvskoke language is interaction, and and just speaking and just feeling. So if I ask a question, it'd be nice to have somebody to try, and I'm not gonna sit there and critique you and say, oh no, well, that's wrong. I will gently correct you if you're completely off, but to use your mouth to do these words takes practice. And like I've said before, just like an athlete, just like somebody who sings, you have to get yourself in the mode, warmed up to do these words, to think Mvskoke. So I'm going to try to do a little bit of that for us today, so we can switch from English to Mvskoke, and maybe I'll give you a little something that you've never heard before. So let me go ahead and look at the chats and see what we've got up here. All right, I see somebody. Hisjay. Christine from Seattle. All right, good job. Woo! And then, okay, Harjos or Old Creek family, yes, and the Graysons. There, yep. Stongo. Hisjay. All right. California, somebody's from California. All right, good job. And then there's a lot of literature out there. You could Google a guy named Chido Harjo. I think he's the most famous of your family, and they're talking about Harjo. All right, I think I'm also descended from Tulsa, Mexico. Not sure how he got the name. Okay, and somebody's a Navy veteran. All right, Christy. Woo! Military. All right, good job. All right, so you've got the option to, unmute yourself and speak, or you can just type in a chat and we will get to you eventually. So, all right, another one. Okay. All right, so we've got the introduction. Like I said, Hisjay has a few spellings, and I'm not going to say anyone is better than the other. We're all equal around here. Yeah. All right. And let's start with the Mvskoke alphabet. I'm not sure where you guys are in your Mvskoke language journey, but there's a lot of things that we need to switch our brains to thinking Mvskoke. And I'm going to start at the very beginning for those of you like me who have training wheels, and we will look at the Mvskoke alphabet. I know Mvhayv Barnett, she says the Mvskoke sounds, but for those of us who have grown up in the public school, we know alphabet, the word alphabet is associated. So I'm going to leave it as Mvskoke alphabet. Later on, you will see Mvskoke sounds. It's the same thing. Mvskoke sounds the alphabet. Okay. And you see that there are 20 letters in the Mvskoke alphabet. And the alphabet does not have B, D, G, J, Q, X, and Z. I know when I was looking and I was trying to study myself, you would see other texts and places on the internet and in books. And some of them have some of these letters, but I think a lot of times they were just trying to sound it out, because, you have some of the Mvskoke letters that have the same sounds, but are not the same. Okay. And number 3, many Mvskoke words contain the letter V. And if you know anything about languages, you always think of the Slavic or the really hard sounding V, but that's not ours. Ours is different. And we will get to that in a minute. There are 2 sounds in the Mvskoke alphabet. There's a short E and a long E. And I think these are available online for you to download. If not, I will make sure that they are put online. So you don't have to write all this down. You can download it, print it, and you can have it for the next class and for your own notes. The Mvskoke letters most commonly confused when pronouncing them are E, I, R, U, and V. All right, and so you see sound practice Mvskoke alphabet. Let me just read these to you, and we will go to another Mvskoke alphabet, and I will show you the difference. So you see the letter A, and for Mvskoke, it's got the ah sound, and then C, it's got the chi sound. The E, the short E, and this is where I differ from somebody who's always learned or grew up around the Mvskoke language. I add the short E and the long E in my my sounds, because when we say these things, our mouth has to move, and when you actually pronounce this, it'll actually create a memory, mouth memory movement. And it'll help you to remember if you have everything written down. And to me, that makes it easier for me to have everything written down. You have the F, B, H, T, I. This is one of the hard ones because you see it says A. I mean, that's the sound it makes A. So everybody's going to have mistakes, but all you have to do is back up and rethink and then try it again. So you got that one. I know that throws a lot of people. That actually throws me at times. And then the K, key, more like a G, key. The L, Lee. M, me. N, knee. And then O, it's oh. It's the sound oh. And I will, like I said, I've got another slide to show you guys, and it helps to put that sound more into your ear and into your head. I'm just going over this quickly so you can see the differences. Oh, and then P, got B, more like a B, B. You got the R, it's got the th or the flee sound. Flup, flup. So you use your tongue, flup, flup. And I know that really stumps a lot of people because of different languages they know. You hear about Spanish, they roll their R's. Well, ours is the f, the, lee. Ours is that sound. You got the S, C, T, D. You see that it looks like T and it's got the TD sound, T. And this will start making sense for those of you who, like I said, this is new because you haven't heard it. And then U is that's right. Oh, I have Mvhayv Eli in here helping me. Oh, and then V and then W we and Y ye. Like I said, I have training wheels on. I'm going to stumble. You're going to see me. That's fine. As long as I'm going forward, you're going forward. I've always got a helper with me who is further along in their language journey. So just these are things that are going to help you. And this is where I get to say, this is where I differ from some of the other Mvhayvs, because I am coming from the world of English first. And I haven't heard a lot of Mvskoke, just, like I said, in passing sometimes. So you see that I broke it down a little bit easier for you guys, for those of us who spoke English first, who know English sounds first. You see A, ah, like in Oklahoma. And then those of us who are visual, if you're sitting there and you're thinking about something, sometimes an image will come to those of us who are visual, and then you're like, oh, ah. Oklahoma. And you see where the ah sound right there in the middle is the Mvskoke sound we're trying to capture. So like I said, these are the training wheels that I was telling you about, because if you don't know you can see it in the word Oklahoma. and then C, G, and I put cheese here. Because that's the sound you're looking for, chi. And it makes it easier because, you know, sometimes you're in the middle of something, you're like, what is that sound? You can either think of the Oklahoma, you know, the English word or the image. And eventually when your mind starts flipping to Mvskoke, to hearing the Mvskoke, to thinking Mvskoke, you won't need this. But this is just for the very beginning, like I said, our training wheels. Because once we start getting going, rolling towards learning more Mvskoke, things will come, things will happen. You're gonna have that aha moment. I always heard it's the aha. You're like sitting there going, aha, I got it. Oh, great. And it'll come to you. Sometimes it'll come to you when you're trying to go to sleep at night, 10 o'clock at night, you're laying there, you're like, I got what she's saying. I understand this certain part, but your mind will hear this, you will see this, and your mind will keep processing it. So, you know, even if you don't understand it right now, if you need to take notes, take notes. But your mind will constantly go over it. And the more you practice, the more you come to the lessons, the easier it's going to get. So this is the E, the I, the short E, I, like hit. And I put a baseball player, I. As okay, is anybody got a question?
Sorry, I was just gonna ask, where would we find these files that you're showing us? Because you said you would provide them.
Okay, yes, they are on the, I'm not sure exactly where they're at, but on the next class, I will have on here where you can get them. I know there's a file somewhere that we have that has all of this. So at the next class, I will provide where to get it from. The person who normally does that is not available at the moment, but these will be there. And I will make it a little easier and show you the link next time how to get there. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the long E is like eat, E, and then like feet. And I put a couple little feet here. Let me go ahead and look to see what anybody's questions are here. All right. All right. I was told that this is recorded and will be available to review later on. So you'll, like I said, I will provide the link next time. And you guys can go back and look at the recordings. If you missed anything, or if you had to, you know, look at it and just review it again, then it should be there. All right, there is a YouTube page that we have the recordings. And I don't know if you guys know the YouTube page, but I think it's was it Creek Okanaga? What? Oh, Mvskoke Okanaga. All right, so it's going to be there. You can record, you can review this recording, and like I said, at the next one, I will put the link for the downloads for the handouts that I'm showing you guys today. All right, and then F, B, again, feast. And you see that I got a picture of feast there. If anybody wants to ask a question, you know, you can post it on the chat, or you can just, you know, start talking, and then I will pause for your question, because interaction is what, you know, helps people learn. So if anybody has a question, or even just a comment or a story, you know, I'm open to you guys sharing, and you know, any little story. I love to hear stories, but you know, anything that we're doing, it just, you know, let me know if you want to comment or if you have anything to add. Okay, okay, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just like, you were just about to start it. I was just going to ask more about the I and its sound and how that works.
Okay, let me do the H and then I'll get to the I. All right, H, he, like in heat. And then I put fire there for those of us who are visual. The I sounds like A, like in hay. And I put the visual there. What was the question? Go ahead. Did you have?
So I've used the Mvskoke like language learning app at one point or another, and I like Doklagi, and it kind of sounds like an I kind of there. So like I don't, is it just because it doesn't, like how does that sound work in that word?
Leggy, legida,
Doklagi, like biscuit?
biscuit, dock leggy, dock legging. It's got that A sound, dock leggy.
Oh, okay.
I know, I've looked and tested out a couple of different apps and, for the Mvskoke language, and sometimes it's just, the regional pronunciation, but it's dock leggy. You hear A, leggy, dock leggy for bread. But, I don't know how many of you gone out there, and I know I've done this, looked at YouTube's. Sometimes it's just the different regions, sometimes it's just how they were taught to pronounce things, but it's not, it's just however you were taught, how you learned. There's really not a wrong way. I will say that the way I'm teaching is the way I learned. And I've asked some of the Mvhayvs if I had any questions, and they would, let me know, yes, you're on the right path, or, well, you just need to scoot it over here a little bit. So I didn't, like you said, A, it's got the dock leggy. That's where the I comes in.
Okay.
And that's why I said that's one of the hard ones to remember, the I, the R, and the V. Those are really hard. Okay, and the K, you got the key, G, you got the G sound. It's more the K, G sound, and you got a key there. Got the L, B, like in leader, and you got the leader right there. And like I said, these helped me because I am not a first learner of the language, and these English words have a little bit of Mvskoke sounds in them. M, me, you got me, and I just put that picture there of a person. It could be you, me. N, me, I put the knee sound, and then I got the image. And then O, school, and you got a picture of a school. So you can see that school, that's got the O sound, O. And you got to remember, your mouth is used to doing, to using English words. So whenever we get further along, you can mute your mic and you can just sit there and say it with me. Right now, I'm trying to get across to you the way the Mvskoke is sounding. It's a little bit different. P, you got the PB sound, B. That's why sometimes you see, like I said, on the internet or in other writings, there's a B, because they don't realize it's actually a P. So it's got that B sound. And of course, you got a picture of a B. You got the R, the lead, or the, like an athlete. The. You use your tongue for the R. You got the S, C, and I got a picture of a C. And this will make a little bit more sense after we get past the alphabet. Okay, T, D, like deer, D, TD, you kind of have the TD sound, like the deer. U, ooh, like the shoe, and you got a picture of a shoe. B, like under, like under a bridge, under the walkway. W, we, and I got a picture of we. Y, ye, like in yield, ye. So I got a picture of a yield sign. Does anybody have any questions on these? Yes, they're different dialects, and you hear things different. One of the things that I was talking to somebody about when I was learning and going to college for our Mvskoke is some of our elders, they didn't have teeth. So they couldn't speak the same way that other people could. So if you learned from some of the elders who didn't have any teeth, it might just be a little different than what we're used to hearing. I know my aunt, she didn't even wear false teeth. She just had no teeth. So her pronunciations were a little bit different than my other aunt. All right, does anybody have any questions about the Mvskoke alphabet? Did anybody want to go over anything right now? Does anybody have a story? Anybody have any comments? Okay. Got a couple of chats. Okay, there's the link to the files for Google Drive. So Matt Stansberry put that in the messages. So if you guys can see that, then that should be the link. I know she had it in Google Drive, so look on your messages and you should be able to see the link to the files.
Yeah, I found that from your guys's YouTube page. I think that's correct.
All right.
I could be wrong.
I know she did put it on Google Drive, but Mvhayv, yeah, everybody's saying Mvhayv. I know she put it on Google Drive, but we're on one side of it, she does another side, so sometimes we kind of don't know everything, so we ask our other Mvhayvs and our co-workers. All right, you guys, anybody have any more questions for the practice in alphabet? All right, let's go to the next one. So one of the things I was telling you guys about is trying to get our mouth moving for Mvskoke, trying to get our mindset into the Mvskoke way of thinking. All right, everybody saying Mvhayv, Matt, good job. So what I like to do is I like to sing a song, get our mouth moving, just like a singer, athlete. You got to get yourself ready. You got to switch to Mvskoke. You got to make something where your mind says, okay, not English, Mvskoke. Does anybody know this song? We're gonna sing this song and you can see that it's got the phonetics underneath, so that will help you. Whenever you guys see Mvskoke words, especially those of us with training wheels, just write down your phonetics to help you remember how to say it. There's nothing wrong with you writing phonetics, because once you get past a certain point, you won't need to write the phonetics. It will just come easier to you because you'll be in the language, you'll be in the mindset, and you'll be in the sounds of the Mvskoke language. So for those of you who, like me, need training wheels, go ahead and do the phonetics for Mvskoke words. And your phonetics may not be the same as mine, so if mine don't help you out, you just scratch mine out and you write yours right next to it. All right. Everybody saying Mvhayv, good job. All right, just a disclaimer, I am not a great singer. I can hold the tune. Okay. All right, so I can hold the tune, but you can actually look this up on YouTube and you can see Mvskoke, or you can hear Mvskoke
On
sing.
YouTube, and you can see Mvskoke, or you can Mvskoke.
So if you don't know the sound, you can, like I said, go on YouTube. There's many examples of this, and you got to remember, there's some people who sing it slow and there's some people who sing it fast. It's whatever mood they're in and whatever they're feeling at the time, and that's why I said the Mvskoke language has emotion, it has feeling, it has rhythm. Almost just like jazz, when you're playing a piano, you can hear the rhythm, you can hear the motion from whoever's playing, and you can see or you can feel that the sounds that they're playing, and that's the same with Mvskoke. So let's go ahead and try. Everybody mute. Everybody mute. I used to like to have everybody try to sing it, and we would get together as a chorus, but not everybody's in the same time zone. So sometimes you get a lag. Okay. All right, let's get going here. Okay. All right, I got a little technical difficulty here. All right. All right, let's go. Hele lo yan ya hey ga. Ele, lo, ya, ele, lo, ya, ga, is, ele, lo, ya. Miko sa, oh, di, me, mana, bo, ele, lo, ya. Miko sa, oh, all right, you've got the rest of the song. If you guys want to sing it, on your time, that's great. But does anybody feel the words or see, the mouth movements? Was that hard for anybody? Did that help loosen you up to speaking Mvskoke? Or can you feel a change? Because like I said, this gets your mouth ready to speak the language. It gets the mouth movement going. And it's different from English. Did that help anybody? All right. Does anybody have a comment or question about the song? No? All right. Oh, somebody said something. All right. Songs are very helpful. All right. They do have CDs in the Mvskoke language department. You would call and give the number to our Miss Mona Lowe, and she will give these. She will send these out to you. They are no cost, but they have a lot of the Mvskoke Creek hymns that are available. If anybody wants any, like I said, there's several different ones. There's several different groups that recorded them. All right. All right, somebody ordered CDs a while ago and haven't, just contact, sometimes for some reason, email servers go down, just contact again and email, and I think there's a phone number. Yeah, phone number. Okay, hold on. All right, so this is the phone number of our Ms. Coco Lowe, and her phone number is 918-732-7649. You put that in the chat. And Mvhayv Eli is going to put that on the chat for you guys, and that is her email, her phone number. So you can call her and give her your information, and she'll send out the hymns to you. There's so many different hymns. You might ask her which ones or how many they have. They have a lot. So that's an awesome resource for you guys, and it's free. We are trying to make sure that Mvskoke language continues.
Maya,
Yes.
there is a young man who asked how to say his middle name, and I think it's Danitke, but I would rather have you teach him that because
Okay.
I'm just a learner, as you well know.
All right. That's Danitke. Danitke. Yes, Danitke. My middle name is Danitke, but I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Probably using the sounds or whatever. Danitke. So you got looks like the two for Danitke are the short sounds, the first two, and the last one is the long sound, E. Danitke. So you got the two short sounds for the first two E's and the long E for the ending, Danitke. All right, good job. And then you can see in the chat box, Miss Coco's phone number. If those of you who emailed, you can just give her a call and give her your information, and she will put that in the mail to you. Like I said, it's free of charge. And whatever I carry forward on all of my lessons, It's stuff that the Mvhayvs here have taught me. They've got so many resources and we're trying to put it all together for you guys to make it easier. But right now, we're in the works. We're in the works. We're getting it done. So a lot of these things, they're not only from me, they're from the other Mvhayvs as well. I will share some of their stuff on here as well, because it helps us to go forward in our language journey. And like I said, I'm starting at the very beginning and they're more advanced, but we will get to their stuff. And here you can see, and I broke it up in little segments of sounds for Mvskoke greetings, like Hesje, Hesje. And these are, we will get to these probably the end of this week or the beginning of next week, how the sounds, like 2-letter sounds and 3-letter sounds go together to make words. And once you get these sounds, even the alphabet down, it'll be easier for you to read Mvskoke, to speak Mvskoke and understand.
Focus.
One of the things, go ahead. Somebody have a question? Okay, all right, one of the things that I learned about the Mvskoke language, go ahead. All right. One of the things I learned about the Mvskoke language, there are no silent letters. Everybody's equal. Everybody has a voice in our language. All of these letters have a voice. So sometimes you'll hear like the H. It's more of a sound than a H sound. E, and more of a. So sometimes they'll try to sneak by, but they're still there. You just have to listen. You have to sit there and just really, really hear each sound. So let me go through this. Hesje, that means hello. Estongo, how are you? And some of you might already know this, but for those of us who are still learning, like I said, I broke it down into the little bite-sized pieces, as I like to say. For those of us who are still trying to get our foot on the ground for learning the language. Estongue sos, I am well. Number 4, hidi mahi, very good or very well. And you see the R, hidi mahi. It's the TH, hidi mahi. And like I said, those of us who've learned English first, that's going to be a stumbler, but we can get through it. The Mado, I think everybody knows Mado. Inga, you are welcome, or yes to acknowledge. Inga. Sometimes I've seen Inga with a V at the end. Instead of ENKA, I see it spelled ENKV. So that's just another way to spell it. This is the way I learned. So this is the way I'm showing you, but I'm not saying the one with the V is wrong. I'm just saying that it's out there. Then muche, an expression of appreciation, like yay, muche. That's why it's got an exclamation point after it. Muche, good job.
So it's different from Mado for the amount of like excitement. Is that kind of when that change is necessary?
Okay, for Mado or muche?
Kind of like that's what I'm saying. Like they're different because of the amount of energy you put in for the other one. Like the amount of like appreciation is higher than just saying thank you. You know what I mean? They're very similar in like meaning from what I'm seeing.
It could go either or. I'm thinking also good job. It could also mean good job.
Okay.
Eli said good job, but I've heard people say Mado, and do high five. So I think those two could probably be interchangeable. Mado, the meaning is thank you, but it can also be Mado. You just gave me a big cake, Mado. So or free pizza, Mado. But you can also put an exclamation point after the Mado number 5 and number 7. They can be interchangeable, but Mado is more thank you. So you can use exclamation point after Mado as well.
Yeah, I was just wondering because like if it's more for when things are more excitable than you in more like in a like really big hurrah, that's when you use the other one, right?
You can, like I said, I've heard some people say, but oh, after a big speech or something. After something happens, you can use either or, but you also know that Mado means thank you. And J, just more of appreciation. And like I said, you can interchange Mado for the same thing. The tone and the excitement, gives a little oomph. Mado, just know that Mado means thank you. And it could also be like a high five, thank you. All right, my J is used to say nice, good job. This is Mado is going to be a little bit stronger, more stronger, thank you. So, but they can be interchangeable. Just depends on how you're trying to use it and the context of what you're using. All right, did that help? Did that answer your question?
I think so. I was just more wondering like the differences more than because I can kind of see the similarities, but the differences in when you would apply them in a conversation, or that's what I was really wondering about. But you answered my question.
All right. And let's see. Number 8, ihe or ihi. In the dictionary, we looked that up and it could yes, and that's for yes. It can be spelled either way, ihe or ihi. Also know that ihi can also mean husband. And I asked one of the Mvhayvs, the first speakers, and she said, well, you would know if you're talking about your family members and you say ihi, my ihi, you're not talking about my yes, you're talking about my husband. So that's more of a situational, the context. There are some words that can mean more than one thing. It's just the way you use it in a sentence. So like I said, there's ihe and ihi that I've found in the dictionary. So you can say either one. And usually people would know what you're talking about. If somebody asks you a question, you go ihe or ihi. I have heard ihe as just a way of saying something. Ihe, kind of like an expression that really doesn't mean anything. It's like, So I've heard that as well. And these are some of the little things that you learn being around some of these first speakers or hearing people who speak like ihe, but you just kind of have to read the body language and read the context of what's going on. And then monks or no. And then you can see I broke it down, the sentences, in, like I said, bite-sized pieces. So you can, since we're learning this, it would help you when we get to learning the 2 and 3-letter syllables to understand and say the words like this. Look, and so you see home, and I will show you an exercise in a minute. And like he, o, me, e, d, me. Those are the sounds. Those are the sounds that you hear Mvhayv Barnett talking about. So those are the sounds that you want to say the alphabet. You can say the alphabet, but those are the Mvskoke sounds. That's why these are broken down to make it a little easier for us who are beginning. And you say, as we see right here, ihe, humbadin ja, chiazigo. See, I got it. Ihe, humbadin ja, ya, jazigo. That helps me and it helps you. And then you just get a little faster. Like I said, once you start getting to know all of these little tidbits, and you're going to be able to speak easier and faster. Sometimes, like I said, I have to back up and I have to start again, but we're all on a different language journey. Everybody's in different areas of their learning. Number 12, Adam Chihichaflis. And you see the R's got the Chihichaflis. I will be seeing you again. Because in our Mvskoke culture, there is no goodbye. I will see you again. And our beliefs, you just go from this world to another world. So that's why there's no need for a goodbye. You just say, I'll see you again. Might be on the other side, might be in a different form and a different time and place, but I will see you again. So that to me is exciting, because those of us who have people that are on the other side, I will see them again. You will see them again. It's not a definite, this is the end. Our people are really spiritual, and know that there are things out there that science and modern technology cannot pinpoint or understand, but we know in our hearts and in our language and in our being that there's more out there. All right, so if you look at the note, the R, the belief is like an athlete or thief. That's one of the, I put that down there because that's a lot of hangups for a lot of people, because if you're used to English, or even if you're used to Spanish, their sounds for R are different. So that just kind of trying to reinforce the R is the or thlee. All right, does anybody have any questions on that one? Does anybody want to comment, questions, have a story, want to share anything before we go any further? All right.
Can you say no again?
Say what? I'm sorry.
Can you say no again?
Monks. 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 Monks.
Mvhayv,
Yes, go ahead.
I had a question on how we can tell if an E sound needs to be a short or a long E. Is there a pattern with their placement in words?
Mhm. All right, we actually had that discussion a couple of weeks ago. There is another form of monks. I think Mungo, yeah, I've seen Mungo as well. This is, like I said, this is the way I learned it, but I have seen for the word no, Mungo. For E, from what we understand, it's just you kind of have to know the word, because that's one of the things in Mvskoke is there's not always definites in the language. So you just kind of have to hear it or know where the long E and the short E are. You can also look in the dictionary, and it has a pronunciation, how to pronounce it. Now, honestly, I want to be honest with you, I'm still learning that, and I look at the dictionary and that doesn't always make sense to me, but I'm trying to learn that part. But it is in the dictionary, the pronunciation of a word, that, if that would help you, that's a resource to help you learn. Right, it's dynamic living language, changes and shifts happen, that's true. You just kind of have to know what word you're talking about. I know I ask the speakers all the time, but there's no definite, yes, this will always be a long E, or this will always be a short E. So that's all I can pass on to you. Let's go ahead.
Sorry, where do you find that dictionary that you referenced?
Okay, yes, they have it at. Yeah, they have it on Amazon. I think there's was it Red Stick Gallery? They have that in Okmulgee. If you Google Red Stick Gallery. I think Mvhayv Eli can put that on the chat. Oh, there it is. All right, Zelma Wind. All right. She put Red Stick Gallery. They have it for sale there. Like I said, it's on Amazon as well. There are different, the one I use is the green dictionary. There are other colors dictionary, like different versions. I think all of them are good, because I think I've got all of them. There's a white one, there's a black one, but the green one is the one that a lot of us use here as well. All right. Anybody have any more questions or comments? Did that help anybody? Whenever you get a chance, I would suggest get a dictionary and just read through there. They've got some interesting and really helpful notes on there. Yes, they also have first reader Mvskoke books too, and songbooks. Yeah, dictionary, of Crete, Mvskoke, Jack Martin. All right. You just have to remember though, not all of the things written are all the same. There's some, I've seen some literature and some early written books that had like a G in there. We don't have a G. So you just have to remember that's, you know, our language for the most part wasn't written down, and people were just trying to sound out some of the words. So when you come across something that's not in the Mvskoke dictionary, you know that they were probably just trying to sound it out and use the English words for our Mvskoke language. All right. So these are the words for today that I'm going to show you guys. And I think I gave you 10 words, and you see that it's got the Mvskoke word, Mvskoke sounds and alphabet. Like I said, I'm more of a visual learner. We've learned from, a lot of us learned from public schools. So I'm trying to put everything out there so you'll have everything at your fingertips to speak this and to understand. The English phonetics, you see fudgeki. That's how you say that Mvskoke word. Or, you know, like when Mvhayv Barnett talks about the Mvskoke sounds and alphabet, the way we spell it is B, chi, ki, e. And, you know, that's just like if I ask somebody to speak, to spell it in English, it'd be A, F, B, C, K, E. The Mvskoke sound, the way to spell it is B, chi, ki, e. And then you see the English phonetics, fudgeki. And then you see also the English word happy. I'm trying to make it, like I said, I'm trying to break it down so we can get our training wheels going. We can get in the mindset of Mvskoke to switch from English to Mvskoke. And for those of you who know more than one language, your mind automatically has to switch. And I'm trying to get an easy switch for you guys to switch from English to Mvskoke. And because it is so different from English. And you see the second word is chissy. And the Mvskoke pronunciation, this Mvskoke sound is chi, e, c, c, e. And then the English phonetics, chissy. And that means mouse. Can somebody let me know, is this helping? Does that confuse anybody? Does that make sense? Got some chats here. Yeah, G and K, E are pretty much the same. Okay, yes, the week 1 words are not in Google right now. The lady who puts them in there is currently out right now. So, but they will be there probably tomorrow or, you know, later on this week. Chissy. That's how to say the mouse. Chissy. Chissy.
So you don't say this S twice, you say chessy, chessy, chessy for mouse?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
There's 2 S's, but it's more of a long. Chissy. You say both S's. Just
Thanks.
C.
Mato. Mato.
Okay. Yeah. You do say it, but one of us the chiss and then C, chissy. So they are both there. Like I said, sometimes you just have to listen and be sometimes like some of these sounds are more like a or a s and then C, chiss. You got the chiss and the C. All right, Mvhayv. And then the next one, itto. Tree. And so to say it in Mvskoke sounds is D, O, itto. And then you see the English itto, tree. My grandchild, I'm trying to teach her how to speak this, and she was like, Itto. One of the things that I suggest for you to start thinking Mvskoke and practicing Mvskoke is just seeing things around here that are on our words, and Itto, you're driving, Itto. When we get to colors, you can say the colors of the car. Autumny is for car. You say autumny, Jotty, red car. Autumny hutky. These are little things that can keep you in the Mvskoke mindset, and more than just the day that we're having a class. Then you've got Igana. E, ki, ni, Igana. And you can see the English phonetics, Igana, earth. She also knows that when we're driving by, and we live in Oklahoma, so you see a lot of earth because they're tilling the earth, and she goes, Igana. Just remember, you can use Mvskoke every day, driving by, colors, numbers. Fiki is heart. Fiki, heart. Ilokwa. Ilokwa, gum. And we are learning this for a reason. That will come, when we learn something, we're going to continuously work on it, and we're going to continuously build on it. So these words are going to come up. Go ahead. These words are going to come up later in our other lessons. Like I said, we're going to build on each lesson prior. And this is what somebody said is taklegi, bread. T, ki, li, e, taklegi. That's where you get that I sounds like an A. I mean the I, it sounds like an A in Mvskoke, taklegi. Ibala. Ki, li, Ibala. And you see the English Kibala, strawberry. So when if you guys get to attend Mvhayv Barnett, she will actually say the words. She would spell it out in Mvskoke sounds, and that's what the red is. That's why I put it on here, because if you listen to some of the other Mvhayvs, they teach a little bit different, and they're a little bit more. I mean, they're a lot more advanced than I am. But this is how to get from where we are to there. And hopefully that makes more sense to you. Lihaya. Li, e, he, ye, lihaya. Cauldron. So like I said, when she says the sounds, the Mvskoke sounds, she's talking about our Mvskoke alphabet. Like I said, that's why I've got it in red, because this is beyond me. It goes to the other Mvhayvs, and they will sometimes sit there and spell it out to you. So when they're spelling this, you know what they're saying, and you know where it's coming from. Okay, and Mvskoke chugo is church. Mi, e, ki, o, si, pi, ki, Mvskoke chugo. Chi, u, ki, cha, chi, o, ki, o. Yeah, without G, O, Ki, O. All right. Like I said, I'm showing you what I know, and we're all going to make mistakes. I have a Mvhayv helping me. And so that means church. So let me see. Okay, yes, this document will be on Google Drive. Probably tomorrow, or the next day, at least before the end of the week. These are our words. Before we can say any phrases, before we can make sense, we need to know words, vocabulary words. We need to know what we're saying. We need to know what things are called. That's why I'm starting from the very beginning with the alphabet and with words that we don't know, but we will know. All right, it's almost time to go. Let me go to this last one for us. This is an exercise to help you guys switch your brains to Mvskoke. Everything that we do, you can do daily. You don't have to have a class for this. And this is what I just showed you. So if you, I work with somebody named Brandon. And this is something you can do at work, home. So you just skip because there's no B. And just use your Mvskoke words, your Mvskoke sounds. The, knee, skip, oh, knee. So that would spell the word Brandon in Mvskoke, the Mvskoke sounds. I know a Crystal. And you can, you can name your dog, Fluffy. You can name out, you can say these sounds so your mouth will get used to it every day. Ki, thi, yi, si, ti, li. Like I said, I know somebody named Iris. B, A, C. See how that can translate to every day of your life. Just jumping into the Mvskoke sounds. C, he, e. You're driving down the street. You see a stop sign. C, T, O, B. Just use your sounds daily. Use it and things will start coming to you fast. Everybody's got a main street in their town. Me, a, me. So use your Mvskoke words daily. Try to review the sounds because that's where our language is, the sounds. Once you start getting the sounds down, it's going to come easier. But for those of us who haven't heard these sounds or didn't grow up on these sounds, this is going to be, something we're going to keep needing to practice. All right. Does anybody have any questions before we end? Did that help anybody? Let me know in chat. Okay, thumbs up, awesome. Yeah, just let me know. Did that help anybody? Did that?
Mvhayv, I heard your teaching of this in a previous class, and it really does help. I really appreciated the model that you did with that because it really does help to get those sounds down and to help with the reading. So that's fantastic. So Mado.
Oh, Mado, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. When we do these lessons, we're trying to reach as many people as we can, and not everybody learns the same. So some people that Mvhayv Barnett, Mvhayv Philip, Mvhayv Eli, they reach. Maybe that's not the way they can be reached. Maybe I can reach some of those they can't. So we're all excited about everything, and just stick with it. Keep trying. And okay, bottom of the page. Okay. So I just encourage you to keep trying. That's all I ask is to try. If you want to speak some of these, just unmute and we'll let you speak because that's how we learn as well. If you don't feel comfortable, then just mute and just use your mouth movements, hear yourself. And if you can't say the words, just use your mouth and just move in the way that these need to go. All right. Somebody was asking to go to the bottom of the page. Did that help you? All right.
I did have one question.
Okay, go ahead.
Earlier you mentioned that there are other apps out there that kind of might help with learning more of the language as well. Do you have resources or links to those? Where to find them?
The way I found them personally was just to go on the app site and just Mvskoke. You spell it with a V, and then you can do the Mvskoke Nation. There might pull some more up. There was two that I had used. One of them was the Mvskoke sentence builder, and the other one was the one from the Mvskoke Nation that they had put out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's the vowel shift that is driving me crackers. All right. Yeah, that's why I said I try to write everything out, because that's for those of us who learned English first, and those who had to take a foreign language in high school, those who took Spanish, those who took French. It is a shift to spell and to say some of these. Okay, go ahead. Do you have another question? All right. Well, let me 2 more chats. Yeah, people are pronouncing it from Spanish. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll see you guys Wednesday at noon to 1. You can bring your questions, ask me questions. You can type it or you can say it. These I'm going to try to see if she can, Mado, try to see if she can get these on there so you guys can review it. like I said, we're gonna build on this. So this isn't the first time you're gonna see this, but like I said, we're gonna build on it. We're gonna sing because that helps our mouths get into the movement of Mvskoke. And I'm just excited. We had a good time today and Madam Chief, please.